Well then, this is a walk around video, and this is for a Honda CR-V 2.2 EX automatic diesel. It's a little bit windy again today, I'm afraid, so if you can hear me, I hope you can. Other than that, just maybe look at the video as much as you possibly can, because there's not much to see on this one. It's very, very clean indeed. The car's covered 81,000 miles, very, very well looked after car. It's a lovely sunny day, which is rubbish for doing videos unfortunately, so you may have to bear with me. Lights and lenses are completely clear and intact, there's no cracks, condensation. Front bumper very clean. Likewise, bonnet of the car amazingly clean for a car that's done mileage it's done. Near side of the vehicle, passenger side, really, really smooth in the panels, wonderfully clean. Near side front alloy, the one that takes all of the bashing, can't really see a mark on it. Panels just absolutely superbly clean, I have to say. Near side rear alloy, really good, just one mark on that spoke at the top there that you can see, but hardly anything for a car for this age of mileage. And around the back of the car, very, very clean indeed. And off side of the vehicle, driver's side, again, wonderfully, wonderfully smooth in the panels. Offside rear alloy, beautiful condition again as well. And the remaining panel looks absolutely lovely. I did see, and I'm trying to find it, there was a tiny little dimple dent. Sorry, I do apologise, because I think it was low down. I mean, there it is. It's so small, but size of your fingertip. But that's it. That's all I can find on it. And then fine alloy, again, absolutely wonderfully clean. So externally, the car is in absolutely fantastic condition. Right then, so park the car in the shade now. It's impossible to do the videos when it's sunny inside. I mean, the back of the car, you can see, been beautifully looked after. Boot liner there, really good sign of ownership. CR-Vs, family cars, estate cars, normally very heavily used, but that is one of the best you see on the back. Let's come into the back of the car now, wide opening rear doors, and again, back of the CR-Vs, this is where all of the wear normally takes place, where the kids sit, and it's been kept really well, far, far, far better than most. Let's come into the front, again, absolutely lovely condition. Front passenger seat there, given absolutely minimal use. Finally, driver's door card. Again, this is one which in theory should have taken all of the battering, and it's absolutely pristine really. Same goes to the driver's seat. I mean, obviously you get a little bit of wear as you get sliding out, which is absolutely normal, but that is miles better than they normally are this sort of age mileage on any car. Alright, so inside the car now, engine's running in this section, so the dash can be seen illuminated, as I always do. Illuminated even, can't speak today. Sat nav, you can see they're working absolutely perfectly, and you can, while stationary with the handbrake on, play DVD films through there as well. If I put the car into reverse, you've got front and rear parking sensors as well, but obviously you've got that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should, but it has been kept absolutely beautifully in here. And up to the dash, pan in there for you, 81,131 miles, no warning lights on the dashboard at all. Steering wheel looks pretty much as new, and it really is in fabulous condition. Finally, just to show you, owner's manual pack and lock and wheel nut key both here and present with the car. Right then, this is a road test video, and this is for a Honda CR-V. It's a 2.2 EX automatic diesel. This particular car is registered EN63PXH, and mileage at the start of the road test is 81,125 miles. As I always say, the reason we do these videos is essentially so that if anyone's that's looking at any of our cars online in our adverts, they actually get to see the car advertised in operation. It's really important to us we do this because we know to our cost when we've been to go and see cars which can look perfectly good in the description and photographs, only to get there and find out when you drive it, it's got a fundamental issue that shows up whilst driving the car. So that's why we do it. It's also done on part of the road test route anyone would go on if offered a test drive, and the reason for that is we'd hope it then be representative of what you'd feel yourself when you came to drive the car. So coming to the car itself, as you'd expect of any Honda, press the button and it starts immediately and settles to completely smooth, even idle. There are no warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. Temperature gauge running at a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. The engines are superb units, they really, really are. It's quiet and refined on the move, very, very smooth revving for a diesel engine. They've got a reputation for lasting enormous mileages reliably as well, helped by the fact that obviously they're cam chain driven, there's no cam belts on these, so no sort of monster services looming on them, but a lovely, lovely engine to use day in, day out. It really, really is, and it suits having an automatic gearbox. Unfortunately not all diesels do, especially turbo diesels, because sometimes the way they work together, it can make the gearboxes really fussy. They're up and down the gear boxes the whole time. This isn't. The gearbox in these is fantastic. It's very slick and smooth in its shifts. The quality of shifts brilliant, and the ratios that they've chosen obviously to get the best out of the car in terms of performance and economy, because it's very good on fuel. Gearboxes are very tough in these, by the way. You should still do the normal checks, just make sure that when changing gear the shifts should be smooth, but also when you select drive and reverse from stationary, there shouldn't be any great delays and sudden clunks as it engages gear, and this is perfect in every way. But these last as long as the engine's been there. We just haven't touched one, and I don't attempt fate, but we just haven't touched one. The steering of the vehicle, very nicely judged by Honda, because what they give you is power steering, but it's actually got a bit of weight to it. It's not over light, but it makes the car feel very settled on the road. Follows faithfully as well, tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibrations at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit actually, so all good there. And it feels really tight on the road. It's very accurate actually, very precise. You can flow through corners really nicely with the car. You know, it's not, you know, a sports car, far from it, but what it isn't is unwieldy. Sometimes SUVs tend to be a little bit truck-like in the way they kind of behave, and sort of particularly sort of corners of varying radius, they can struggle. But you know, tight corners like the one I'm about to do now, and lots of kind of these SUVs can feel, you know, really clumsy, but these it's very, very, very car-like in the way it sort of manoeuvres basically. Chassis of the vehicle, again, they've just struck a beautiful balance with it. It's a very comfortable riding car. It's got a kind of a real quality of damping which you don't normally associate with this type of vehicle, which means you've got, as I said, very good body control through the corners, so you get far less kind of body sway than you get with some cars which have got much softer sprung. But it still gives you a compliant ride, as I said. And what I'm looking for on the road test on a used car of any age, just listening out for any kind of clonks or rattles from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. It's all absolutely spot on. Brakes on the car, make sure no one's directly behind me, but give it a good shove. It's a really good brake pedal in the vehicle, nice and solid. Pulls up nice and straight, and there's no kind of pulsing or vibrations coming back through the brake pedal at all, so all in fine fettle there. Coming inside the vehicle, I mean, first and foremost, they are beautifully put together cars. You know, this is a 7-8 year old car with 80,000 miles or so on it. No squeaks, no rattles, beautifully made and really nicely done. Yeah, great visibility, huge wing mirrors on the car, just makes you feel nice and secure on the road. You're looking around, you can see what's behind you, can see what's in front of you. Got quite a low scuttle line on the dash there, so I can actually see a bonnet, which is a miracle in modern cars. Dashboard architecture is really nicely done. It's masses of equipment on this car, but it's not a car that get in and phases you. It's simple, easy to use. Sat nav, simplicity itself. It's all touch screen. That doubles up as a DVD player. If I get time to do the walk around video, I'll show that. But all working exactly as it should. You've got a dual zone climate control system there, so obviously you can have different temperatures side to side on the vehicle, and that pumps out lovely cold air. We checked that in a warm workshop earlier on. Switch gear quality is brilliant on them. lovely sort of click rubbery precise action to them. Very high quality stuff that Honda do with that kind of switch gear, as I said. The dash binnacle in front is lovely and simple, easy, legible dials, simple, no, just basic information that all you want, rev counter, speedo, temperature and fuel gauges, and no more. And I think that's perfect, because too many cars seem to be overly complicated. It obviously has an information display in the middle of it, like you get on modern cars now, with trip information and other vehicle information, as well as the one on the top there. Steering wheel feels great in hand, small in diameter, feels pretty much like new to hold. I mean, it's in lovely condition in here, I have to say. It's been kept very well indeed. This is a four-wheel drive version of the CR-V that you don't do anything, it does it all for you, so no buttons to press or engagement, because Honda worked out that, as I am today, people drive their cars generally driving in perfectly good conditions where you don't need it on. Problem with having permanent four-wheel drive, of course, is that it's permanently on, and that means you get through more fuel, you put more mechanical stress through the car, and you're certainly get through your tyres more quickly. With this, it runs in front-wheel drive, the most efficient way to pull a car along pretty much the whole time. Only if it senses the front wheels start to slip via the traction control system, it'll instantly bring in the rear wheels seamlessly to give you four-wheel drive, and then disengage it when it's no longer required. It is brilliant in how it works and in practice, because we've got one, we tow a caravan, and I've never come close to getting stuck with it, even across some pretty muddy, soggy pitches. And its simplicity gives it its reliability, because it's not been used as often, so that basically means, as I said, we've not so much as put a spanner on one of these things in terms of the four-wheel drive system on any Honda car using it over the last probably 3 decades, or as near as damn it. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it is, it's only brief, but it's just to show the car in operation and to feedback on any issues there might be with the car, of which there is nothing at all. It drives as tight as a drum, which you'd expect, because these are, as I said, mechanically and in every other way, they are beautifully engineered vehicles. Having said that though, if you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.